Hello there. Well, got around to finally building a shooter's bench. This bench will be for a friend of mine that requested it. Gave me some information to look up, and we'll have to give credit to the maker, I suppose. And he's got quite a big website to look at if you're interested. But these information and design look like it originally came from myoutdoorplans.com. Of course, I'm going to put a little spin to it. I think it needs a little bit more, and of course, I'm going to have to give it a little bit of spin. This is just the beginning part of it. This only 4 2x6s and 2 4x4s to start with, and I upgraded it, the screws from what he was using to a little bit bigger. I went with the Deckmate 3.5 inch, and I got a 5-pound box of them because there's going to be quite a few needed eventually. The other screws there are for another part, which will be Deckmate screws designed for the timber tech. It's composite wood that he requested. I need to get away from splinters, and never worked with it before, so this is going to be the first time. But that's what that pile there is for. That'll be for the tabletop and the bench once we get there. But just going to give you an idea. It really don't take a lot. So I got a couple extras in the pile there just in case I want to add maybe a little bit more to it. But we're going to go with the plans kind of as we go, and I'll kind of let you know what I come up with, unless it comes up about the same as being introduced. So we'll get started, and I'm going to start cutting up some boards, and we'll go from there. Okay, here's the pieces cut for the top frame. It's 4 pieces, 48 inches long. 2 pieces, 15 inches long. 2 pieces, 27.5 inches long. Excuse me, there's only one 27.5 inch piece, and then there's 2 7.5 inch pieces. Also, there'll be a 32.5 inch piece, but I'll put a list in this video as I'm going to show you where I'm at. I'm starting to mark these out. I'm going to put this together, and that'll be the first step of this project. Okay, I guess this is a little bit fast forward. I got a little carried away. I apologize. But I do got a lot of pictures of this part from where I left off earlier. I'm still working on this video stuff, so anything I mess up or can help out, just message me and be happy to talk or message you back. There's a few things I wanted to talk about. As you can see, I use composite decking, and if it wasn't for the composite decking, I probably wouldn't have too much to say. There was, I think, one comment on the original plan from another individual noting this front piece bracket is just a little bit short. Depending on your preference, to me, that don't really look too bad. I've even thought about maybe mitering the corners off a little bit, because you're walking around these tables, there are other people walking around, and you're shooting. Last thing you want to do is scuff your leg and stuff. All right, the seats are not done, which I'll be talking about some more here. But this top, first time I worked with it, and learned quite a bit. Now this is what they call the mocha coffee color or whatever. Looks pretty nice. Take special screws. I'll show you here in a second. They kind of countersinks and pulls the material down, so and I'm hoping maybe the heat might even help make the holes go a little bit closed up, maybe a little bit. But like I said, if it wasn't for the composite wood and the pressure treat, and what I'm meaning is a 2x6 or a 1x6 is normally, when you buy it from the stores, instead of it being 6 inches, it's 5.5 inches. And I'm used to that. The composite decking, unless there's some kind of mistake on this order, I picked up the only mistake at Home Depot, but all these boards are measuring this. The composite's coming out to about 5 3/8. So if this design or you're following for just using regular lumber, you're probably gonna make out a little bit better than I did. But that's my thoughts, because I was kind of sort of wanting a little bit more overhang on the edges. As you can see, I got a little bit, not a lot, and I probably would have went at least half to 3/4, maybe even 1 inch overhang all the way around it. Of course, that's my preference. I guess they say you can paint these edges. I sort of thought about picture framing them, which may be another one down the road, because this one doesn't belong to me. This belongs to a friend of mine, and he wasn't too picky about that, and we were trying to keep the cost down. The composite stuff's not too cheap. Pressure treated, as you can see in my list in the video, there's really not a lot to it. Yes, there could be more added to it, and maybe there will be, but I'm thinking maybe once on the site, they might cut the legs a little bit more off, because I went in and left it at full height according to the drawing to allow for putting it in concrete. So them legs are like 42 inches. Well, in the drawings and what I was showing the videos is the actual measurements I went by. The only thing I'm not so happy about is how the composite came out. Yes, I gapped them a little bit, instead of it water puddling up. It's going to be outside up in the mountains, snow, rain, whatever. They might even help it so it don't sit there a lot. But as you can see, I'll be working on the seats today, and I definitely overestimated on how much composite I would, so I like to get this finished and get my money back on some of that stuff. But I will show you a video once completed, and maybe, or probably I was thinking about, I was going to flip this thing over and maybe talk a little bit about if there's any issues to talk about. I'm thinking about adding a little bit of support to it, and I'll show you what I mean by then. But overall, though, pretty good looking shooter's bench. I think it'll look a lot nicer. We picture frame the deck where you don't see the edges, but hey, if it works, right? But some of us might have a preference of a little bit different look. Some not so much. I wouldn't say there's no wrong or right, depending on which way you want to go. I mean, maybe it looks good to some people want, you know what I'm saying. But as for the seats, though, I've been contemplating on, is the original drawings are asking for a 13 1/4 by 18-inch seats. And I think that's pretty big, and plus I would have one large overhang, and I'd definitely end up with adding supports to it, because if you look at the drawings, you just see like boards like hanging way out. And I may add some kind of structural, but I was gonna go that big. But I don't really think you need something that big for your butt. unless you got a big butt. I'm just kidding. You're more prone to getting comfortable in a shooter's position and not have so much stuff in your way. But you'll see, and we get around to the final part. But I definitely want to know that about the 5 3/8, not the 5 1/2. And you ain't gonna have to allow for that. I think I would probably downsize this framework a little bit to allow for more of an overlap for my composite wood, for what I was thinking. But as it is, it fits. You can gap it, and everything sort of came out pretty nice on the edges. It's all gapped the same, all the screws. I try to stay pretty clean. Well, a little bit about the screws. Sorry about the lighting. Like I said, I'm still working on it. I do this with one hand. Comes with a bit. What I mean by these screws, though, see if we can show it. Not coming. Well, they got a cut in a screw at the very top. And then when you get to the bottom or the top, it's a different type of thread, which they say helps pull composite down so you don't have mushrooms stick up and like you do see a lot in wood and stuff. But so far, I think I'm about to get done with one container with this design, and there's supposed to be 75 screws in there, which I think was estimated in the original drawing, but I'm using composite, and as you can see, I'm kind of like spaced them out, 2 on each deck, and then wherever the supports are. I'm gonna have to have a few more for the seats when I get ready to do that here in a little bit. But well, let's get a little bit done, and I'm gonna see if I can post some pictures at the end of this video, and hopefully next time around I'll be a little bit more thorough of the whole project. But all right, hope you guys think this is pretty nice. Jim, my friend, he seems to think it looks very good. He's coming up this weekend for a little cookout, and maybe we'll try it out. So let's continue on and move forward. Please comment and subscribe. I appreciate it. Doing something that's really out of my nature, but I'm determined to get this woodshop business moving forward and do what I need to do and help out, and I'm glad to help out because that's part of it. But hope you enjoy it, and any questions, comments, please share, and please subscribe, and please share with your friends that might be interested in a shooter's bench, or hey, they could be different. We're ready to work with you and customize it or whatever. So